Welcome back to Sunny Talk Spurs, and today we're bringing a massive video to the channel which I've been teasing for a couple of weeks. We're doing a huge keep, sell, loan of the current Tottenham squad, looking ahead to the summer transfer window. But before we get into this one, if you are new to the channel, why don't you leave a like on the video, subscribe to Sunny Talk Spurs and hit that notification bell because it will let you know when I've gone live. And also in the link in the description down below, you can now become a member of Sunny Talk Spurs and get exclusive access to my podcast, Nice One Sunny. Get all your questions down below ahead of next week's episode. But let's get into this tier list. Tottenham had a fantastic January transfer window, bringing in Timo Werner, Radu Dragusin and Lucas Bergvall to the team. But we now must look ahead to the summer because we have still got so much deadwood in this squad. What better way to go through the squad than doing a massive keep, sell, loan using the very trustworthy and useful tier list. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So here it is on screen now, the whole current squad, including players that are out on loan as well, because they're due to come back and will be sorted thereafter. So let's start with some players. And first of all, we have Eric Dyer, who on loan currently at Bayern Munich. He hasn't got a future at the club. He's played his last games. He is going easily in the sell bracket. Similarly with Ivan Perisic going in the sell bracket as well. On loan at Hajduk Split, part of the deal, I believe, with Luka Vuskovic, who's due to join us next year when he turns 18. But yeah, both of them being sold. They haven't got futures at the football club. And then we might as well move on to a few other players. We have Ryan Sessegnon. Now, this is an interesting one. Only played a handful of games so far this season, coming back from injury. I believe he's got injured again, actually. So he's got to go and sell. Time to cut our losses on Ryan Sessegnon. Not good enough to play at full-back. Not good enough to play on the wing, where we're going to strengthen in the summer anyway. So we might as well sell him. Moving on then, we got Rodrigo Bentancur. Easy keep. One of our best midfielders at the club. Come back from a horrifying injury, actually, from last season, and has been a key and useful player. Want to see him more in midfield, you know, experimenting with the likes of Maddison, Sarr and Bissouma. So it's going to be an interesting time for Bentancur in the coming years, hopefully, at Tottenham Hotspur. Then we have Sarr, easy again. Another keep. Got to keep Sarr. Has been one of the players of the season, surely. One of the young players of the season as well. Been fantastic. Went to AFCON. Sadly did not win that competition, but he's back now and been very impressive yet again. So an easy keep for Pape Matar. Then we have Alejo Valise. Now this is quite interesting. Currently on loan at Sevilla. I'd probably give him another loan. I think he needs more game time. Is he going to get game time at Tottenham Hotspur? I'm not so sure next season. So with that, I would give him a loan. Radu Dragusin, keep. You know, hopefully he gets a few more minutes as this season goes on. And then next year, you know, we'll be interchanging, I believe, with the likes of Romero and Mickey van der Ven. Emerson Royale, I'd keep him. I've called him Tottenham Swiss Army knife this season. I just think he's been very useful. He's played at left back, right back, centre back. Just think he's good to have at the club. Can play Ange ball, can invert. I think he has been a useful player. Cristian Romero, again, another keep. You know, Tottenham captain. One of the Tottenham captains, along with James Maddison and Heung-Min's son. So, think he's good. A lot of people might say sell and start Dragusin and Mickey van der Ven. But I'd keep Romero. I think he's a good player to have at the club. I do rate him. I still think he's underrated. I think that people give him a lot of stick because of his red cards in games. But I believe Romero is a good player. He's just got to hone that aggression somewhat. Bryan Hill was meant to go on loan to Brighton in January, and that fell through. I'd sell Bryan Hill. I think, you know, again, I think we're going to get another winger, and I don't think he will start. I just don't imagine him really having much of an impact on the team. I don't think he's impressed at all. Went on loan last season to Seville. Just not a good enough player. Don't think he can play Ange ball. Not potent enough. Just probably time to cut ties with him. Richarlison. Probably a few of these are going to be quick keeps. Keep Richarlison, been very, very good this season. Very impressive. since Harry Kane left, he has, taken on that mantle and got quite a few goals in the Premier League. People would have said sell him, I think, if he hadn't turned up this season. But he has kept his stock high. So keep Richarlison. And we'd also keep Pedro, Porro and Destiny Udogie. Been both fantastic creatively, getting goals and assists. The perfect inverted fullbacks, sorry. I believe now we need to find some other fullbacks who can play the role as good as them, because when they do go injured or suspended, who is really going to pick up that mantle? So that would be interesting for the summer. Hojberg is a sell. I think, we might have sold him in the January window, but there wasn't many suitors. I think we can get a high price for him in the summer, around 25 to 30 million. I just don't think he's good enough yet to play Ange ball. He's a Jose Antonio Conte type. I think he's been a great servant for the club. Have really enjoyed his time at the club, but he can't play the 6. He can't play the 8. He's slow. He's sluggish. His passing range isn't good enough. So I would sell Hojberg. Ollie Skip. This is interesting. Ollie Skip. I think he's been better this season, but he doesn't really get goals or assists. We were looking at Conor Gallagher, sort of similar level, I believe. Conor Gallagher maybe gets a few more goals. I'd keep Ollie Skip. Got to think of homegrown quota as well, because I'm looking at not Eric Dyer actually, but Ryan Sessegnon English. So, we need to keep some homegrown players. I think Skip will stay around maybe another year before we move him on. He reminds me of Harry Winks, Tom Carroll, players like that, just there for the quota to just be part of the squad for that reason. So I'd keep him for the time being, but maybe next year think about it. Vicario keep, obviously signed him last year, been fantastic, one of the signings of the season for £17 million. Absolutely fantastic. Can't question him. It's an obvious keep. First team player. Joe Rodon on loan at Leeds. It's actually been quite good for Leeds, but I would sell him. Don't think he is good enough to play for Tottenham. We've got centre-backs now. We signed Dragosin for a reason. So I would sell him. Leeds are the perfect team to sell him to. Sell him straight to them. It'd be fantastic. Brandon Austin. Again, the two goalkeepers, I'm going to do them at the same time, even though he's up this end. Brandon Austin and Alfie Whiteman, I'd sell them. I think they're a bit too old now to really be youth prospects, and they're not going to start. We've got Fraser Forster. We probably need another goalkeeper to come in to be as good as Vicario, but they're here again for the quota, so I would get rid of both of them as well. Giovanni Lo Celso did come in this season and impress, but he's injured. He's been injured. I'd sell him. I think it's time to move him on as well. I think we could get a good fee for him. Barcelona were interested. Just not sure if he can't string a good number of games together. And I think, when we're looking in an area to replace, it's time to get some players off the books as well. Mickey van der Ven is a keep. Been fantastic. One of the quickest centre-backs I've ever seen for Tottenham, if not in the Premier League. Has been fantastic. When he was injured, obviously was a negative, but happy to have him back. Same with Dejan Kulusevski. He will be a keep. Again, could get some more goals and assists, but he's been one of the most creative players in the Premier League. An easy keep and first team player. Bissouma, keep. Think he's been good. Was good in the beginning of the season. Needs to find that form again, but again, quite an easy keep. Ben Davies. Now, I'll be honest, this might be controversial. Would keep him. Think he's a good leader to have at the club. Slotted in well at left centre-back. Can play left-back as well. I think he's a good leader and senior player to have at the football team. So, I think it might sound controversial, but I would keep him. Manor Solomon, keep. Got him for a free. Think he's due another year. Had a bad injury and not come back from that yet. But, in glimpses in the Burnley game, looked very strong. Jed Spence. Had a loan spell at Leeds, didn't work out, then went to Genoa. I'd sell him. It hasn't worked out at all for Jed Spence. Bought him for 20 million. If we can get 10 to 15, that would be quite good. Brennan Johnson, keep. Not had the best of starts to life at Tottenham compared to some of the other players, I will say. I think he's been good in patches, but still has got a lot to grow. But I believe and back him under Ange Postecoglou. This one's going to be quick. Tanguy Ndombele, sell. Too many loan spells. Hasn't worked out. Just cut your costs. Daniel Levy, it's been a failure. Timo Werner on loan at us, which is quite interesting. Would I keep him or get rid of loan? I think at the moment I would keep him. You know, think he has been quite good. Just has to improve his end product. I keep saying this to a lot of players. I know we want to look at more wingers in the summer, but I think Timo Werner is a good player for the 17 million option to buy. Sergio Reguilon's on loan at Brentford. Just sell again. Just cash in on Sergei Reguilon. Just not good enough, is he? Just not going to play for the club again. Then we've got James Maddison. James Maddison is a keep. I don't know why I'm in an R in there, just teasing. But yeah, would get rid of, would not get rid of him, would keep him. I don't know if I have that on the mind. But yeah, fantastic. One of our captains, been amazing. Shame for his injury as well. He would have been probably one of the players of the season, if not Tottenham player of the season. Japhet Tanganga, again, English quota. But it was a lot on loan at Augsburg, didn't work out there. Millwall, I'd sell him. Just time to get rid of some of these players. Just not good enough. Ashley Phillips. I'd put him out on loan again. He's been all right at Plymouth, been quite impressive. So I think another loan spell. I'm not sure if he'll break the first team next year, so we'll loan him out. Fraser Forster, I would keep. You know, he signed a new contract earlier in the season, but, you know, he's not going to play much. He's just a backup keeper. Heung-Min Son, easy keep. Spurs captain, Spurs talisman, fantastic player. And Lucas Bergvall, keep. Wouldn't loan him. I think he's been said that he's going to get first team football, and that's why he signed for us over Barcelona. So, yeah, would keep him. There's one player who I haven't put on there, actually, I've just realised. Alfie Dorrington, who's been in and around the first team. Between that, I'd either put him in a new category, which would be Youth Academy, or I'd send him out on loan as well. So there you have it. There's my Tottenham tier list. A brief overview of the squad. They're the keeps, they're the sells, and they're the loans. As you can see, getting rid of a lot of deadwood in the summer. I think it's time to refresh the squad. Do like Arsenal did. Get rid of quite a few of these players and move them on and build again. You know, loan a few players out. Keep that core team that is in that top section, and I think will be fantastic under Ange Postecoglou. But let me know in the comments down below, what would have been your keeps, what would have been your sells and your loans, and do you agree or disagree with any that I have put in there? But before we finish up, if you are new to the channel, why don't you leave a like on the video, subscribe to Sunny Talk Spurs, and hit that notification bell because it'll let you know when I've gone live. And also in the link in the description down below is a link to my to become a member of Sunny Talk Spurs and get exclusive access to my podcast, Nice One Sunny, for only 99p a month. But yeah, check that out. Check some of the other videos out on the channel, and I'll see you again soon for another upload. Bye-bye.